Girl Boogie, and I'm just here with a cooking tutorial. It's HunnySticks' birthday in half an hour. And I'm going to be making his favorite meal, and it's ribs. It's from Superstore. So I'm just going to cut. The ribs look pretty nice, if you ask me. They've been thawing for a whole day in the fridge. Fuck, this is hard with one hand. Beautiful. The marbleization on the end, that fat will give it just the right flavor. But it's not too fatty where it's just pure cartilage, which I don't mind. I love cartilage. So I've washed these ribs, and after much MacGyvering, we've figured out a way for you to watch me cut them, and I'm going to show you how I season them, and they're going to stay in the fridge overnight. So I'm using a long paring knife, and I'm just going to go with the natural rivet of the rib, and I want these to be quite large. I don't want them to be too oversized. Top part, I'm going with the natural curve of the bone, so I'm not really fighting. I'm going with the grain, not against it. Need for this, because I'm going to dry rub them, is a sharp knife. I'm just going to use the same long paring knife, a spoon, a tablespoon, and then any kind of seasoning that you'd like. I'm going to be using Clubhouse Greek because it's one of my favorites. Garlic powder, because you can't go wrong. And I'm going to try a bit of this Clubhouse pork. So with each individual one, I'm going to stab each side. And this is because when I put the dry rub on, I want it to soak into the meat. So I'm just going to stab each one. A little spoon of the Greek. About 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. And then I'm just going to use the smallest amount of this. Maybe a teaspoon of pork Clubhouse. I'm just going to use this spoon, and I just want these to mix together. Oh, if you guys could see how this is set up. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to take about this much. I think that's about a teaspoon. I'm going to, oh, kind of missed the spot there. That's alright, there's plenty to go around. And I'm just going to dab that on, and using the back of the spoon, I'm going to smother it in there. I really want the flavor to get inside of there. And I'm doing the back side also. And I'm just smothering the flavor on there. Like so. So it should look like this. So my camera phone doesn't do zoom while it's recording. Go figure. So I'm just going to put that in the plastic bag for now, and I'm going to move on to the next one. Using about the same amount, patting it on, and then rubbing it in. Doing the same to the other side. Look like that. And the larger ones, you want to put a little more spice. So I'm just spreading it out with the bottom of the spoon and just rubbing it in. I really want to get the flavor into the holes that we just poked in. Okay, so I have separated them into 2 bags. This is bag number 1. bag number 2. And I'm just going to put 1 can of coconut, half and half, because it's a soldier. It's about half. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other bag. Just going to do this up, and I'll probably double bag it. I just want to put the beer on every rib. Same thing to the other. Now, just going to add a little bit of soy sauce, or you could use Worcestershire sauce. You just want to use things that have a thin consistency, because you don't want, like if it was barbecue and thick, it would definitely burn if I decide to barbecue these. So I'd say I put a teaspoon in each bag. That smells so good. Now, I'm going to go in with this pineapple curry that I got from President's Choice. And it is mainly oil, water, and juice, vinegar. So that's nothing too thick. And I'm just going to add this in here as well. Say about 2 tablespoons I just put in there. And I'm just going to mix this up. I'm going to put this in the fridge, and tomorrow after work I will show you how I cook them. How the ribs look. They've been cooking for about an hour and a half on 285 Celsius. And I'm just going to flip them over. There. Is that better? Like, as if you can tell me. So that's how it's looking now. I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to put them back in for about half an hour longer. And yeah, I'm just going to flip them. Just want to watch. They're not fully cooked. Why do my cat always have to meow every time I do a damn video? So I'm just flipping them over. And HunnySticks not back from work yet. So I plan on having these cooked by the time he gets here. I'm just going to put these back in the oven. Look at, they're just coming off the bone. They just want to come off that bone. Looks so good. And again, I'm just putting it on the top rack. And I might just turn the temperature down to 260. Okay, so I'm back. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to put on the ribs. I've completely turned off the oven, and I'm going to broil them once I get these coated onto them. So first things first, I'm going to use this sweet chili. Use some mustard. I'm going to use some soy sauce. I'm going to use some jerk seasoning. And a little bit of this goes a long way. Might not look like lots, but it packs a punch. So I'm going to grab about that much. I'm going to want to cool it down with some honey garlic, barbecue sauce. And I'm just using the stuff that's almost at its end in my fridge. I'm not really planning this. I didn't plan ahead what I was going to put in here. I'm going to use some chipotle. Recycle those and go back in with the sweet chili. Oops. I'm going to put some ketchup in there because there's got to be a familiar taste. Some chicken and rib. Now I'm just going to mix it all together with a tablespoon. I'm going to add some of this pineapple curry. Mix that in, and I'm just going to give it one more try. These babies are done. I'm going to turn the oven on broil. I'm going to grab a spoonful. It's just similar as to when I was dry rubbing them. And I'm going to do both sides, making sure that I will have enough for each rib. This in on the top rack on broil, and I'll show you the finished result. So I've just taken them out of the oven. They were broiling for about 3 minutes, and this is how they look. So I'm just going to serve them. Like, comment, subscribe, and haters welcome here, because ain't no one gonna be able to rock this smile off my ace face. Mwah. Have a good day.